All right, so welcome everybody to the August Ask Your Akashic Guides live event. So delighted to have you here. It's always a blessing when you bring your energy, because together our collective energies magnify the experience and we all get more out of it. So I wanted to tell you about this dream because it's germane. So I woke up from this dream where I was participating in some kind of a protest. I don't know, probably political, because that's what's going on right now. And these stormtrooper like men came in, knocked us all flat to the ground. So we're face down on the pavement, and they're coming around and they're putting dog collars on our necks. I think our hands were already bound. And I was inspired, because Metatron or somebody stepped in and helped me to stay calm in the moment, which is really important. I was inspired to call out to the others who were lying on the ground and who were struggling and, in a lot of distress, that they needed to breathe, relax, and allow this situation to unfold, because our purpose there was to get a message across. Isn't that interesting, to get a message across, right? But it was really, really important that we not resist them, because that side is coming with a lot of hatred and a lot of anger. And if we meet them with fear and anger, that only magnifies their powers and further weakens us. We strengthen ourselves when we breathe, relax, allow, and we stand in a place of faith and confidence, projecting divine love to them. And then that's really hard to do when you're in that moment of fear and anger, but it makes you more powerful, I promise you. As we all together intentionally beam that love out to them, eventually that's going to erode that hate and anger and their own fear, because let's be honest, they're afraid too. So as we meet them with that wall of love and non-resistance, we will break through, and that will help all of us to move forward faster on this path of evolution, which I talked about with Melinda on her podcast this week. This amazing message came through about the next stage of human evolution, which is what we're in. So Melinda, if you want to drop that link in for everybody to get the podcast, that would be great. I will be emailing you with it as well, but you might as well have it early if you like. So it's really interesting how all these messages have been coming through about this evolution that we're going through. And of course, there's the backdrop of the political unrest and the fear of the virus. So what I wanted to share with you about that is that I thought about how all those pieces are fitting together, and there must be some greater message I was meant to share with you. And so what dropped in is that nobody is going to leave their body until their soul is ready. That's the first thing you need to understand. So it does you no good to be in fear of all of these things that are out there. Instead, just know that if you aren't intending to leave your body, if your soul's not intending to leave, you're going to be here. You're going to be with us arm in arm as we march forward with faith and love and trust that we are bringing that new golden age of humanity. So what you can do in your daily life is practice affirmations about I am safe, I am loved, I am strong. You can eat a good, healthy diet to boost your immune system. You can meditate, which will relieve stress, help you to be stronger. You can, of course, take supplements. Something else that I and Donna do is we use these amazing stem cell patches, which also boost our immune system because they're generating new stem cells in our bodies, which are strengthening us, and they actually have a reverse aging. What I found since I've been using them about a year now is that they have energized me. It's like I'm on a super shot of adrenaline most of the time, and yet I'm not getting fatigued. At 63, I'm climbing on the roof of my pickup truck to tie down bales of hay, which is so improbable. I never imagined I'd be able to be that flexible at this age, but it's like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm in my 30s. It's amazing. And a lot of that is due to those stem cells. So if you guys want to know about that, shoot me an email. I'd be happy to share with you, because it's been so amazing and transformative for me. And I love sharing things that will help you. So in regards to the virus, those are some things that you can do. So don't live in fear. Live in that faith and trust that you are going to be okay, because your angels, your guides, and God have got you, and you are safe. So let's just take a couple of minutes, do a short little grounding exercise. So sit back, close your eyes, Take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. And we're going to do this rapidly because we have a lot to accomplish today. But down from above, from the heavens, is coming this big blazing, fiery, tangerine orange ball. It's a massive burst of divine love and light, and it's sinking gently into your crown chakra. And as it comes into your body and moves through your brain and your head, you might feel a tingling sensation. So just go with it. Allow it to light you up, to energize you, and to fill you with more of that love, light, faith, and trust that will get you through these uncomfortable days as we expand into the evolution of humanity as we approach the new golden age. Feel that fiery ball crackling now as it moves down to your heart chakra. And as it gets to your heart chakra, it feels like a warm embrace, like you are being held tightly to the bosom of divine, a love like nothing you've ever felt. Warms you, fills you with peace and love for all of humanity. That peace that passes understanding, that is just bliss. And now that ball is moving down into your solar plexus. And it's powering up your engines in a most amazing way so that you feel on fire and ready to go to face whatever dragons are in your path with peace and with love, to know that you can overcome any obstacle that's in your path. And now it moves down to your sacral chakra, your seat of abundance, wealth, and sexuality, what makes you who you are, lighting you up like a pinball machine so that you will manifest more rapidly that which you desire, and know that that is part of who you are and how you were designed to be. It will all come forth when you are in this state of peace, love, confidence, the truth of divine. And now that ball of fire is hitting your root chakra, the very essence of you. Again, lighting you up in a gentle, loving way this time, lifting you as if you're levitating, that you feel so light and so loved, so at peace. More bliss for you and emanating from you to the world, so that all who come in contact with you will feel it. They'll know you've got something special to share, and they'll be magnetically drawn to you so that you can share your blessed message with them. And with that, this gold and orange ball sinks all the way down, drifting out the bottoms of your feet, sinking into Mother Earth, sharing with her this entire experience, because we are deeply connected to our Mother Earth, who supports us and nurtures us. And so we share that love and light with her. And know that you are now safely and securely grounded between earth and divine. You are empowered warriors ready to go out upon your day to face any challenge in faith and confidence, knowing that you have it within you. You have that divine power and energy within you. That essence remains there, helping you to have more confidence, faith, and trust in your own ability to stand, face whatever comes in peace and love. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you for this beautiful blessing you've shared with us today. And now a couple of deep breaths, and when you're ready, open your eyes. Hmm. Okay, I'm still feeling it buzzing in my brain and my fingers are tingling. How about you guys? Do you feel that? Wow. Thank you. Thank you. We're so blessed to be here, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So, Donna, if you're ready, let's start with our first question.
Yes.
Hi,
Kyrie.
Deborah.
Hi.
It's Kyrie. Thank you for that. That was very soothing, very grounding.
You're so welcome.
So I'm wondering generally what my guides have to say, and specifically anything they need to tell me about the coming school year and also my relationship.
Okay. So for Kyrie, what can you share with her about the coming school year? And I feel that swarming trepidation because of the uncertainty of what you're going to face. And I'm getting confirmation from your guides that, yeah, we know about it, Kyrie, and we are standing there holding you. I'm seeing them all around you. They're holding you close. They're presenting this beautiful boundary between you and all of that swirling energy that's outside. So what they're showing me is that if you can spend a few minutes a day, just 2 to 5 minutes, that's all you need, Kyrie, in meditation, and visualize your angels being there, putting up that force field. Yes, they're going to give you that force field so that you don't have to worry about it. They're going to take that worry right off your shoulders. They want to take your burdens away. So lean on them. Let them care for you and provide that so that you can put your mind on your mission and your purpose without that fear and worry. So that's what they want you to know about the school year. Does that help?
Perfect. Yes, that's beautiful.
Okay. And what about her relationship? What can you share about her relationship? I'm feeling this warm buzzing in the pit of my stomach, like it's like there's a duality of good, but there's also that other side that it's a yin and yang is what I'm feeling. And they're saying, but Kyrie, that's the way it's supposed to be. There's always supposed to be that balance of yin and yang. So some days you're just going to feel blissed out and it's like the most perfect relationship in the world. And other days you might feel like you fell on your behind and you're confused and you're wondering if this is the right one. But know that as long as you have that balance, it's the right one. As long as it feels good to you, it's the right one. Should you fall into a space where it feels not right more often than it is right, that's the time when you need to reevaluate and determine whether this relationship still serves you. But often relationships are for a season rather than a lifetime. So whichever one it is, what they want you to know is just flow with it and enjoy it to the max while you're there. And if it's a lifetime relationship, you'll just continue floating on that barge of bliss. And if it's not, you'll come around to that understanding sooner or later. And when you're ready, you'll disconnect. So it's the message is don't worry about it. Just enjoy it while you're in it. But always take care of you. And should it start to go awry, that's when you have to decide, is this serving my soul's best interest to remain? It's always about you, always about your soul's best interest first and foremost, because you can't be an equal partner. You can't bring your best if you're not first taking care of you. Does that make sense?
Perfect. Yes. Yes.
Anything else?
Is there anything else they need to tell me generally that
Okay.
they just feel I need to know?
So anything else you want to share with Kyrie? I'm hearing a British accent, and it's like hip hip hooray and a tip of the hat. So it's being playful, and it's acknowledging you and the fact that you came and you asked the question and connected. They love that, and they're saying more of that, Kyrie. Connect with us more often. And again, it's that 2 to 5 minutes. That's all you need to do. If you desire more, you can of course do more, but just that little bit will keep you connected, feeling secure, and reinforcing your force field on a regular basis. Does that help?
Oh, that's perfect. That's beautiful. Thank you.
You're so
Thank you.
welcome. Thank you for being here.
That's wonderful. Mike Wenner is next.
Hey, Mike.
Good morning. Oh, you want me to ask it? Any guidance would be welcome this morning. I'm getting a lot of distractions around computer interference, a wayward email that arrived a day late, and a series of team disappointments causing me to question my direction a bit and question perhaps whether I need to decrease some involvement in some projects.
Okay. So what can you share with Mike about this dissonance that he's feeling? Because that's what it is, Mike. It's dissonance, right? You have stepped it up lately to a new level. And so whenever you do that, you know that your soul and your ego are now on different frequencies. So, you know, that causes those sparks that make things just go crazy for a little while. And so I'm seeing them, their hands are on your shoulders, your angels, and they're saying, you got this, Mike. Just ignore those things. They are distractions, so don't let them distract you. And in fact, you can laugh when they happen, because that means for you that you are moving forward, and it's just a matter of your ego catching up to that new frequency, and then things will smooth out again. So don't let that stop you. Keep going. Do not take it as a sign that you're going the wrong direction, because as long as you feel in your solar plexus, because that's super important for you as Mr. Sensitive Organizer, as long as you feel that in your solar plexus, keep going for it. Just moving through, not resisting, but flowing through. So when you hit a block, you don't push against it. You flow around it or over it, under it. Let your angels carry you over, whatever it takes. Don't let it stop you. And don't let your feathers get ruffled by it. Just keep moving, because that is your path. And you do have this breakthrough. And as far as the team members who are kind of like fizzy energy, is that what you mean?
They're not complying with what they said they would do.
Okay. So team members who are not living up to their responsibilities. So they're saying, Mike, they make a commitment and it's up to them to follow through. You know, you can't force them to do that. All you can do is role model, which you do beautifully. Role model for them and teach them why it is so important from the integrity of their soul to follow through on commitments that they have made. Now, if that commitment is no longer in their soul's highest and best interests, then they absolutely should stop, but they need to let you know that. They shouldn't just fade away. So you are going to model and teach them how to stand in integrity with their soul. That's the message and the lesson that's going to come from this.
Thank you very much.
Does that help?
Perfect. Perfect. Like usual. Perfect. Thank you.
We give all the honor to them. Thanks, Mike.
So I put Eileen on the list as third. So am I saying it correct? Is it Eileen?
Yes.
Okay.
You got it. You got
Thank
it.
you.
Hi, Deborah, and thank you. My question has to do, I've stayed with my son and his family for about 6 months now, and I'm very grateful to them, because normally I'm in my RV traveling the world, and they said, come stay here. But I've run into a difficulty that I don't understand, and they keep trying to explain it to me. And they tell me the problem is in me, and I'm willing to make change, but I don't know what direction to go in. I don't quite understand what's happening. So that's my question. What in the world is going on with my son and my granddaughters in particular that I can change and make something different?
Okay. So what can you share with Eileen about this uncertainty in regards to her son and granddaughter? Yeah, so I'm feeling that tension in the solar plexus as you're trying to parse that out, because you've got all this love and you want to support them, but they're giving you mixed signals. And so it's really hard to know what's the best thing. So the wise choice in that situation, Eileen, is to step back and stop being concerned about what's best for them. Instead, what is best for Eileen?
Yes.
Shift into that. Decide for yourself what that means, because it doesn't feel like you've quite decided what that means for you. Take them out of the equation. Focus on Eileen. What would be in your highest and best to serve you and your tribe, because you have this large tribe that you have this giant heart to serve. So you don't want anything to take you off that path. Once you get into alignment with that, your energy is going to shift into this beautiful, perfectly aligned column. That will help your son and granddaughter to shift as well, because they're going to feel that difference in you. They won't be able to stay in the same place. It's up to them how they shift, but they will have to shift in some way. And so maybe there's going to be several shifts between the three of you as you keep shifting into more clarity and certainty about your path and purpose. They're going to keep adjusting to that. And you'll eventually reach that place of some kind of harmony. It may be that you'll decide it's not best for you to be with them. Or it may be that you find that harmonious way of doing it. So that's not for certain yet, because you guys have to work that out dynamically. But for you, don't stress about it. Don't fret about it. Dig in to your intuition, connect with your guides, feel your way through what would be the most empowering and the most delicious choice for you. Because then you will be filled with love and light and power that will overflow, that will bless all those around you. And it will just be the most magnificent choice that you can make.
So thank you. And I totally get what you're talking about here. In the meantime, I felt, I have, gone into myself and disconnected, and no, I don't have to do with anything that is going on, that has to be done in the family. But in the meantime, I end up feeling like I'm in a box myself, like I'm like this. I'm going forward with my work, but I feel like that distracts. What's the best way to get out of that?
Okay. So they want you to know that box is an illusion. There's no lid on it. There's only one.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a matter of you just standing in that place of faith and trust and confidence that we talked about earlier, which will make you feel so light that you can levitate right out of that box. Know that anytime you encounter a wall that's an illusion, you could actually put your hand right through it and walk through it. It's just your thoughts that it's a solid obstacle that make it a solid obstacle. So in that moment, because sometimes it's hard for us to see that it's an illusion and walk through it, right? It takes a lot to get to that space.
Yeah.
So while we're working towards that, that's when we reach up our arms and say, can you please help me? And they'll lift you right up and over. Always.
Wonderful.
One time they brought a helicopter and they dropped a ladder down to let the lady climb up out of her box. So it's whatever comes to you, but meditation is a great way to help you with that. When you feel that block, just a few minutes of meditation, just visualize that box, look around, you'll probably see a door or a window that you didn't notice before. Because as you start to come to terms and trust that there really is not a box there, you will see methods of escaping the box.
Wonderful.
And then pretty soon, it won't even be there. Oh, I'm seeing you now, Eileen, you're walking up to the box and you're just kicking one of the walls and it just falls over. Because that's how powerful you are.
Thank you.
This is about you embracing your power with more confidence. It's actually inviting you to step into more power and more confidence, because then you're going to share that with your tribe. As you learn, you teach. And it will
I am ready.
Yeah, it'll be an amazing lesson. You're so welcome.
Okay, Melinda.
Good morning. Thank you, Deborah, and thank you, Donna. What I wanted to ask is, this morning on my walk, I prayed loudly and boldly, asking for help on something with someone in particular with their mindset. Are you able to tell me if the guides heard me? Can they help? Any guidance coming through? I'm hoping they heard me. I was kind of shouting as I was walking down the street. So that would be great. Thank you.
So what can you tell Melinda about her conversation with you this morning and her friend? They are belly laughing, Melinda. They're saying, we heard you loud and clear. No need to shout, but if it makes you feel better, it's perfectly fine. You shout, babykins. It's all right. And they want you to know that, yeah, they got it. And they're going to connect with the guides of your friend to do a little negotiating and a little assistance there. So your guides are going to double team with her guides and help her. So know that you put that intention out and they're taking it and moving forward with it and assisting.
Awesome. That's what I need. Thank you so much. I just need to make sure they heard me. Thank you.
Anything else?
I have one other thing. I've had some amazing card readings for months that positive change is coming. I get a lot of the Arcana cards, and I just keep working and believing. I'm still taking action in faith, and nothing really has happened or changed yet. It's been going on. So, and I always try to control my lack of patience, which is my struggle in life. So just any other guidance on that is always appreciated.
Okay. I just had to switch the screen back, sorry. So what can you tell Melinda about all of these manifestations that she's been working on and her lack of patience? So Melinda, what they want you to know is while it looks to you like nothing is happening, they're doing all this behind the scenes coordination, putting things together, making the paths for them to happen. But as much as they'd like to make it happen in an instant, there are other people and other eventualities involved. So they have to do all that coordination. Just know that they are working on it. It's on the way. It's like this massive gourmet recipe that they're putting together, and it has to take the time it takes. So while you're waiting for it to come, stand in faith and trust, knowing that it's coming, but focus on all of the things you've already manifested and celebrate. Have a party about that, because that lightens your energy, which makes it easier for them to do all the work that they're doing. If you're standing on the precipice, peering down and saying, where is it, where is it, where is it, where is it? Your energy is kind of blocking what they're bringing to you. So the way to switch that is just to focus on that celebration of all the massive things in your life to be grateful for. And I know there are so many. And then that's where having that journal where you track all of your manifestations is so helpful, because whenever you get into that place of doubt or impatience, you just go back and you review this massive list of accomplishments. And then you bask in appreciation for yourself and for your team that helped you to get to this place. Then celebrate knowing that more is on its way to you, even more than you ask for, truly.
Thank you. And I know my recipe's really big, so that's why I try to calm myself down and just keep going, because it's not like little things I'm asking for, they're big things. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
That's okay. And I want you to know, because you're wired to be the communicator, you are always going to have a big list, because you've got so much inspired stuff coming at you all the time. Your list is massive. They know that about you, and they're assisting you, and it's perfectly fine. In fact, they're saying, Melinda, it doesn't feel big to us.
Great. Good. So I'll keep adding.
No worries about that for anybody. But, you're just wired that way. It's natural, and they expect that from you.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you.
You're
Thank
so
you
welcome.
so much. Thank you.
I just want to say that you are so on point this morning, Deborah. This is fabulous. So just want to verify and confirm.
Thank you. Oh, before we go on, let me just do that little ad, about my class that's coming up.
One moment, just a moment.
And Donna will pop the link in for you. Next Thursday, I'm starting my Learning to Read the Akashic Records course. It's 3 classes of 90 minutes each. We are going to dive in, and you are going to learn to access your own records, because that's a huge part of my mission. Yes, I can channel answers for you all day, but how much more delightful, delicious, and empowering would it be if you could do it for yourself? So I want to teach you how to access your own records, and I want you to know it's far easier than you think it is. Somebody in my last class wrote afterwards to say she was so surprised, because she thought it would be hard, and it really was so easy, because we go step by step, building on your skills through each session. Practice in between. We're going to have a private group where you can come and practice. You can share your results, compare and talk, lift each other up, so that by the end you're going to be more confident and able to read your records whenever you like, to get that insight. I want that for all of you. So the link is in the chat. If you're interested and you want to learn to read your records, I would love to have you join us next week. Okay, ad's over. Thank you, Donna.
Okay, so first of all, I would like to say that was not an ad, that was a sharing. I'm going to tag you. I'm going to be your coach this morning and say, stop that. We love you. It is so valuable. It is the opportunity that you're giving because the price is like this, the tuition is just, it's a giveaway. So it is, you are offering it rather than an ad. So just embrace that, because my guide said to share that with you.
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it.
Okay. Carrie is next.
Okay. Carrie, hi.
Hi, Deborah. Thank you. So my question is about my relationship with my dad. So all my life, I've always feel responsible for his well-being. He isn't the greatest father to any of us, so I'm not like the special child in the family. But even to now, I feel like I am responsible for him. So I'd like to understand why is that feeling so strong after all these years? So that's my first question.
Beautiful, thank you. Okay, so what can you tell Carrie about this feeling of responsibility for her father? Yeah, it's karmic, Carrie, so let me just probe a little bit and find out where this originated and what it's about. So what I'm getting is that 15 past lives ago, the roles were reversed. You were the parent, he was the child. Something happened. You were his father. And he was a little girl. Yeah, and some accident happened and she, your child in that lifetime, died. You held yourself accountable for it. You took on, it's negative unjustified karma is what it's called. It wasn't your fault, it was an accident. And remember I told you earlier that souls don't leave their body until they're ready to depart? So that child would have died in some other way anyway. It had nothing to do with you. But you took that blame and that responsibility. So in this lifetime, you chose to be born as his child so that you could heal that karma. But you've been trying to heal it from the outside in, trying to fix and change and shift him. And that's not what you need to do. It's about healing you. It's about releasing that burden, forgiving yourself, truly understanding it was never your burden to carry. Letting that totally go. So Carrie, if you need a little help with that, send me an email. I will write you a little prayer to help you process that.
That would be wonderful. But in the meantime, how do I resolve this sense of, you know, always going to him when there is a need to? I feel I have done things in the past and even now to put that by putting a distance, you know, because it's not totally my responsibility. And he wasn't such a responsible dad. He left us when we were young. And so I thought, yeah, that's not helpful for me because I got to put my interest first as well. So even with the distance coming to the UK and he is on his own, having been ostracized by everybody, and now with the COVID, he is saying, oh, I'm, you know, by myself. And I feel like I need to relocate to be closer to him. And I thought that can't be wise. But then how do I address this anxiety?
Yeah, it's because it's that karmic connection. That's what's keeping you stuck in that pattern and making you feel that way. But you'll do the little prayer and clearing that I'm going to send you. That will help. Meanwhile, understand about soul responsibility. Your soul responsibility is only to you. This is all about your soul journey, what's best for you. So should you move closer to him? Maybe. Feel that through your solar plexus. Is that something that you want to do? Would it make you happy? would it serve your purpose and journey? And if the answer is no, then it's just that karmic obligation that's pulling you. It's like hand over hand, reeling you in. And you could say, no, not doing it. It's not in my best interest. Always come back to your best interest. Stop focusing as much as you can on what's best for him. He's responsible for himself, right? You're just in this dynamic energy connection with him. You're going to sever that when I send you that clearing prayer.
Hey, that's great.
Yeah, that's a lot of what it's about. So I'll send you this prayer. You're going to do it for 21 days because it's creating a new habit. It's first dissecting, or what's the word, disconnecting that energy bond that you have with him, because it's negative energy and it's draining both of you. Not a good thing for either soul. So you're going to disconnect that, and then you're going to do the 21-day prayer to form that new habit to stop knee-jerk reacting to him. And first checking in with Carrie to see what's best for her. He's not your responsibility. And your team is jumping up and down and saying, yeah, Carrie, that's the message we've been trying to get through to you for a long time. So believe it, trust it, know it, act upon it. And whenever your thoughts stray back to him, because they will, it's an old habit.
Yeah.
As soon as you notice that, stop them. Replace that with something happy or uplifting, or just do a meditation. But don't stay in that space of thinking about responsibility towards him. And that will help train you. Eventually, it just won't happen at all.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
And I just wanted to segment and say, it's very interesting because you've given every message to me this morning. So I just want people to know that when you're like a fly on the wall, I know this happens to people all the time. They're going, wow, that message is for me. So this is an abundant day.
Yeah.
So thank you, Deborah. This is just beautiful. Marie is next.
Okay. Marie, hey.
Okay, good.
Hi.
Hi, Deborah. Nice to be with you again today. I felt the same way listening to Carrie's advice, that it hit home for me as well. You know, different family member, but same struggle. And so thank you. I think the advice holds true. And yeah, that wasn't my question though for today. Today it's about my heart-based business. As you know, Deborah, I'm committed to it, and I am really grateful working well with my guides these days, and I feel actually their help in many ways, and strongly led to studying more than I had anticipated, going back to study more related areas to what I already do and services that I'm offering my clients. And at the same time, although I am following their advice and, you know, looking to study more, I worry about what I'm perhaps not doing with my business and getting more clients and getting more momentum. And so I was wondering if I am personally divided, as in for a reason, or it's just sort of an ego struggle right now that I need to let go of.
Okay. So what can you tell Marie about this struggle that she's feeling towards her business? Yeah, so I'm seeing you in like a rowboat and you're paddling, but you're paddling in circles. Your focus is all on the center, when there's this whole big world out there around you waiting for you to engage with it. So it's like tunnel vision is what it's feeling like. So they're saying, breathe, relax, allow, look up, see the opportunities that are right there that are knocking on your door waiting for you, but you're just so focused here because you've got this set idea of what it should look like instead of allowing it to naturally evolve into what it's wanting to be, because you're birthing something new. That's what, oh yeah, I feel it now in my stomach. I feel that baby growing. And so you're birthing this new concept, this new version of what you bring to the world, and that takes time. So
Okay.
meanwhile, of course, you got to pay the bills. So you do the responsible thing, and you do those things that bring you joy, and, you know, some things that you just need to do that don't bring you so much joy, but you do those quickly and focus more on the joyful things. Also, like for Melinda, focus on all the amazing things you've already manifested, because that puts you in that state of being open to receive more, right? It's putting out those waves of energy, which is going to draw to you those who need what you have to offer. You're magnetizing yourself so that they'll be
Yeah.
drawn to you. It's
Okay.
also a dose of trusting that your guides are going to bring those people into your circle. You know, I've talked about that on these calls before, that I've been frustrated that I'm putting out this call to thousands of people, and 20, 30, sometimes 40 people show up, and it's like, I want to serve more people. Where are they? And Metatron reminds me, honey, you're not that special. There are other people delivering the message. You do what you're doing. Allow us to bring those who need you to you. And don't worry about the rest. Don't put the responsibility for the entire world on your shoulders. That's what we're doing, because we have a heart to serve and we want to help more and more and more. But there's only so much we can do, and we have to take care of our own journey as well. We can't neglect ourselves. So it's first taking care of Marie, making sure that
Okay.
you are empowered and you've got everything you need, only giving out of the abundance, never out of the main vessel, right? And then just be joyful about all these amazing souls you've already helped, and in delightful anticipation of those who are on their way. Because I'm seeing like marching feet, and there's a whole long line of them headed towards you.
Okay.
It's just about
And
you getting to that space where they can find you, because you're focused down in this little tunnel vision. So you're not beaming your light. They can't find you. You've got to put that beacon out like that lighthouse, that so they can see you and find their way to you.
and so is this focus self-serving, as in a bit like putting my head in the sand, like, or is it because it's unconscious? This focusing with my head down is, and the other question is, am I correct that how I'm being led back to my studies is what I'm hearing my guides leading me? Am I following the breadcrumbs from my guides, or am I am I correct on that?
Okay. So what about the studies? Is that something that's in Marie's highest and best interest to pursue? Yes, as long as it brings you joy. The other side of that that's chiming in is that, Marie, you already have everything you need. So if there's a feeling of lack or not enough, that's not true. But it doesn't mean you can't learn more things just because you desire to learn more things. It's for you, it's always balancing, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes the need to go learn more things is because we don't feel we have enough yet. But they're saying you've already got everything you need. So start serving the people now. Absolutely, you can do those new teachings on the side as long as you enjoy them.
Okay.
But
That
that's
helps.
how you evaluate. Is it something that's joyful, that you really are thrilled and jazzed about doing? Or is it just because you feel you're lacking something? Because you're not lacking.
No. I have a great thirst for learning. And so when I do learn, I'm always happy. It's a nice place for me to be, but I also have to be careful because of that balance. I also want to serve.
Yes. Your gift was the entrepreneur. Was that it?
I think communicator and entrepreneur. I think I seem to remember that. Yeah.
So you've got entrepreneur in there, and that's always going to draw you to learn new things. It's the monkey on my back, I can tell you. I'm so
I think it was the entrepreneur. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have two. Yeah. But that's what the entrepreneur is. You're welcome. That's what the entrepreneur is all about. They just have this thirst to learn more. But it's really important that they find that balance, because what happens is you get into the busyness of doing and learning new and not doing that which you came to serve. So as long as it doesn't take you off that path of moving forward and serving your tribe, it's okay to learn new things, but balance.
Yeah. so that was really the essence of my question, is that, am I okay? Am I going to be able to regain my balance? And am I heading there, or am I just, going off? And so I think what I heard you say is that it's okay to study as long as it's bringing me joy, but not to forget to magnetize the clients that can come to me now, because I do have something to offer.
Yes, you have a lot to offer already, and you're going to have
Yeah.
even more. So it's always about priorities. Is that new learning taking you away from your purpose? Because if
Right.
it is, then it needs to go on the shelf if you're ready to actually do it. But if you can
Yeah.
do it at the same time and still serve from your heart, then it's okay. Because you have that
Okay.
thirst to learn more. It's always going to be there. It's not going away.
Okay. Thank you for the reassurance.
You're
Much
welcome.
appreciated.
Thanks for being here.
This is so beautiful today, and Jack has asked me if I will be his voice today.
Okay.
And he check for him if it is better to teach or do counseling this school year. Let me see if there's anything else. What is best for me to do during this school year? It has to do with teaching or counseling.
Okay. So for Jack, what would serve his soul's highest and best interest? Would it be teaching? I get a no on that, Jack. What about counseling? Yeah, definitely a yes on that one. Does that help? Is there anything else you need to know about that? Yeah, your guides are just waiting to see if you had another question. And while we're waiting for Jack, Heidi wrote, send something to her because the message, but I don't know what you want me to send, Heidi. So could you let me know what that is?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So how do I best make that happen, the counseling?
How do you make the counseling happen?
Yes.
Okay. So what does Jack need to do to step into the role of counselor? They're saying that they're sending opportunities and inspired ideas your way. So it's like make a list and just go down the list and explore them to see which one is the best for you. And then explore that one some more. Be open to it shifting along the way, because they're working hard to bring you those opportunities. Your responsibility in that equation is to watch for them and act upon them when you get them. And act quickly, Jack, is what they're saying. Don't wait, because time is of the essence, obviously. So the opportunities are coming. Know that they're coming. Trust that they're coming. If you're not seeing them, perhaps spend a little time in meditation. Just ask them to help you to see them, because you're having a little trouble. And if that still is troublesome for you, I invite you to go to my website. That's akashaunleashed.com. Click on the meditations link. Choose any of those that resonate with you. When you use those guided meditations, they're visualizations. They will take you to a space where by the time you get to the end of them, you'll be very relaxed and receptive. And then you can ask your guides and you'll have a easier time of receiving the answers. It's like priming the pumps, if you know what that means, Jack.
So I want to know what level should I, elementary or middle or high school?
Okay, so
Which would be better?
what level would be optimal for Jack? Would it be elementary? I get a yes on that right away. But what about middle school? Would that be a good option for him? No. And high school? I get no on both of those. So definitely elementary is an optimal choice for you.
Okay, thank you.
That's where your gifts will be able to be used to the very highest and best. And it feels like it's a better fit for where you're at right now.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, excuse me, Margaret from San Diego, who is Apple Me Computer. I like that. There wasn't a question that she put in, but I'm going to say that she, just by commenting, she has put herself in line. So if she would like to unmute and ask.
Hello, this is Deb. I think you're talking about me. I'm driving and have poor reception.
Okay, then let's do that.
But
Debbie
I must have sensed you talking about me.
Okay, go for it.
Tell me your name.
This is Debbie from Minnesota. Hi, Deborah.
Oh, Debbie, hi. Great to have you here.
I sent a comment in saying thank you so much for last month when you asked me to come on, and I didn't even know I had the question. And as we were talking, you said you pulled a question out of me about what I was worried about teaching, going back into the system and teaching, which quite frankly a lot of teachers are worried about.
Yeah.
My admin has been amazing. Here in Minnesota, they have said that teachers that have health risks, higher health risks, can stay home and teach, and that's exactly what happened. And I'm so grateful because your reading was spot on, absolutely spot on. I'm goosebumps.
So glad.
So I will be teaching, and I'm excited because I'll be Zooming in live to my students, and I'm looking forward to all the learning that I'll be doing to figure that all out. And I'm excited.
That is wonderful. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I just wanted to make sure that I got that to you. And as we're driving to go get hay, our reception was real spotty. So it's perfect timing because now it's not. So thank you for your amazing gift. I appreciate you so much.
It's my pleasure. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here and being a supportive person. Love it.
Love
Have
you too.
fun with the hay.
I will. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, and I'm looking for, she was called Apple Computer before, but I think she got what she needed and it's gone. That's just fine. And by the way, Marie said she would like to know a bit more about the stem cells. And let me just mention that it's a stem cell activation patch. It doesn't have stem cells, but it activates your own. So please be sure to email Deborah, and she can give you some information about it. And if you have any questions, you can have Deborah get a hold of me and we can get on a Zoom call together. Kat is next.
Hi, Kat.
Good morning. Hi, Deborah. Yes,
Hi.
Hi. Good to see you again. I've been listening this whole time, and I have to say, a lot of the messages that you've been giving to everyone else, I totally relate to almost all of them, and I'm grateful. Thank you so much.
I'm so glad. Thank you for saying that.
I did have a question. I was going to ask you, what are my gifts? What is my gift?
Okay.
That I am here on earth to demonstrate.
I don't do gift readings in this session because that's a different way of accessing the records. In fact, looking up your gifts is part of what we do in the Learning to Read Your Akashic Records course. So if you want to join us in that course, I would love to have you, and we will dive deep into the gifts so that you fully understand them. Or we can do that in a separate reading.
Cool. Okay, well, that was just kind of an add-on. I was going to add on because I was hearing everyone else's gifts. I'm like, oh, I'm wondering what mine are.
Yeah, that's because I've already read for those people. And I remember their gifts offhand.
Okay. So I'd like any advice in my pursuit of a business startup. I'm juggling a few options that I'll thoroughly enjoy, but I want to know any advice that my guides may have for me in lieu of business startup.
Okay. So what can you share with Kat about her business startup? let's first of all ask if it's an optimal choice for you.
Okay.
Is this business, yeah, I get a yes on that, okay. And is it highly likely that this business will be successful? Yes, good. Okay, so those are two important things to know. All right, so what can you share with Kat about stepping forward? Oh, the first thing, they're kind of screaming this at me, Kat, so apparently it's an issue for you, is asking for help. Because you can't, well, you can, but it's doing it the hard way to launch a business by yourself. So don't be afraid to reach out. Ask for people to mentor you if you need that. Ask for support from your friends and family. Whatever it is you need, don't hesitate to reach out and ask for help, because you're building something greater than yourself. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling it expanding and expanding, like somebody's blowing up a balloon. So it's going to take effort. Know that. It's going to take time. That's just part of the process. But as you're building it, tune into your solar plexus and feel your way through the choices that you make, so that you always make the best choice for your growth and for the way you present yourself to the world. Is there anything else you want to ask about specifics on the business? I feel a question there.
I feel as though I'm not sure what business to start up. I love to bake, okay, and I thought baking would be optimal. And then my best friend, she owns a business, and she was like, "Hey, Kat, you like to help people. How about loose tea business, a loose leaf tea business?" And I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I want to. I feel like this. I want to go, but I just don't know what business to invest in. I don't know. I feel stuck.
Yeah, I hear you. Totally understand. So the wise thing to do always is to choose something that you love so much you do it for free, because then it's not work. So the loose tea business, is that something that you would enjoy so much that you would do it for free? You'd go out and get tea and distribute it to people? Are you really into tea?
I think I would, because I know there's a lot of benefits to it. There's so many variations that can help people, with anxiety, with stress.
So
with just about every ailment.
You're interested in healing then?
Yes.
So you want to be a healer?
Yes.
Is that something optimal? I get a big yes on that. Okay, so let's go back around to the baking. That's also something that lights you up and brings you joy?
Yes.
Okay, why can't you do both?
I don't know.
There's no way.
I guess I could.
It's your business. So I want to tell you a story. A friend of mine, Mindy, who's this amazing horsewoman, and she does this beautiful service where she brings people into a round pen with her horses who are loose. The people are sitting, and Mike has done this. It's a circle, horse circle, I think she calls it. She lets them linger with the horses. This is something Mindy came up with out of her own creative genius. It is such a blessing to the people, because the horses choose who they want to work with, and they'll go stand with that person. They might touch them. They might just share energy. And it's profoundly amazing and sacred what happens in this horse circle. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because Mindy is also a talented baker. She got it in her head one day that she wanted to make croissants. So she starts making croissants, and she does everything big. So she made a lot, dozens of them. Then she posted on her Facebook page, "Look what I'm doing." And all of a sudden she's got people beating down the door saying, "Hey, I want some of those. Can I place an order?" And all of a sudden she's got a side business making croissants. She didn't start out to do that. It just kind of evolved, but she's that creative type, and she went with it because the opportunity was there. So now she's getting orders for chocolate croissants and, all different kind of variations.
Yeah.
So why can't you do your baking? Take Mindy's model, do what you love doing, let people know you're doing it. They'll probably be beating a path to your door. And because we're in a time where we have to be careful with social distancing, it's a brilliant way of starting a business just by sharing it with your community. I don't know if you're on Facebook, but Facebook has local community sites that you can join and share about your business. You can run local community ads. So a lot of opportunity there for you to grow a business. And right now people are loving special gourmet kind of treats because they need something special when they're feeling bad, right?
Yes.
So
Yes,
then
thank you.
you can add in the tea, and guess what? While you're working with them and talking to them, if somebody's needing healing and you feel you've got something to offer, then let that come in too. Allow it to evolve. You see, it's a little bit like we were talking about with Marie. If she stays in that boat always looking down at what she thinks it should look like, she's missing all these opportunities to expand it that are just waiting there knocking on the door. So what they want you to know is start with whatever feels the best. Allow it to expand in whatever way brings you joy and that you feel inspired. Because your guides will not inspire you to do something if you're not capable of doing it.
Thank you. That hits home, and I'm very grateful. Thank you so, so much.
Yeah.
I
So
really appreciate it.
Keep us posted on your progress.
Oh, I will. Most definitely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's brilliant, Deborah, because messy is always better than waiting to do anything.
Yeah.
You can always.
Mike posted the link for Mindy's website, theresonanthorse.com, in case anybody wants to check her out. Sorry, Donna, you were saying?
No. That's just fine. I just wanted to let people know that doing it messy is way better than waiting and worrying about it being done. I mean, this perfection, which I have evicted her from my shoulder.
Yes.
It's just getting it done. So
absolutely. And Mike can tell you about that. He's an expert at that.
Which one? Doing
the getting rid of the perfection and finding good enough.
That's right. Good enough. I love good enough. It is good enough is always better than not being done.
One of my YouTube mentors says that done is better than perfect. Bam. Right to the point. That's it. Yep. True.
That's right. I'm on day 85 of 100 Facebook 2-minute videos because my quest was to get comfortable just doing it, just off the cuff. So 2 minutes, that's it anyway. So Beth is next.
Okay.
And it feels so much better to be moving forward than just to be wondering and waiting.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Mike.
And Beth is next.
Hey, Deborah. I didn't have like a specific question, just a general, what do my guides see?
Okay. So what would you like to share with Beth today? I'm hearing zippity doodah again. Did you get that last time?
No, that wasn't me the last time.
Okay. So I'm hearing zippity doodah. So that must mean that you're on a better, happier path, or you're not doing enough fun stuff. But it's an encouragement for you to be lighter, more playful, to bring more of that light and joy into your life, because that informs upon everything you do and it makes you more successful. It shifts your energy. It will attract, magnetize those people to you. So more zippity doodah in your life. That's the first thing. What else? Is there anything you want to ask, or should we just ask them what else? Okay.
I'm good.
Okay. So what else can you share with Beth? Because that doesn't feel like enough, Beth. It feels like there should be more. Come on. Let's be abundant here. What else can you share with Beth? Now I'm seeing you in a circle doing the, it looks like the hora, but I'm hearing the Mexican hat dance. That's funny. Okay.
That's weird.
Yeah. Oh, so that's something about combining, isn't it? Two totally different concepts and cultures. That's combining. So very interesting. Are you doing that in your business? Are you combining modalities?
I'm thinking about something else, but so we're in the process of trying to adopt a dog. And my thought process was we're planning to get a young dog or a puppy. And so I was thinking about like training the dog to be like a therapy dog.
Okay. And is that something that you want to get into, training therapy dogs?
I hadn't thought about that.
Because it's really interesting, this juxtaposition of the Mexican hat dance and the hora. And it's like they're saying one thing does not rule out the other. They can be combined. They can be something entirely new. They can still be joyful. They can still be impactful. So don't limit yourself.
Okay.
That's what it's feeling like. So putting that joy in there, because you're dancing in that circle and you're kicking up your feet and you're just swinging your body and having a great time. So that joy, but then being open to new inspired ideas as you evolve in who you are as a soul and in what you bring to the equation.
Interesting.
Yeah. Is that Scott in the background?
Yeah, he just went out.
Scott.
You missed him for now.
Okay. So, does that make sense to you?
Absolutely.
Is it helpful?
I think so, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
you know how much I have always, like, over the last few years concentrated on the lipsology. So this is something totally different.
Can you read lips on a dog?
I have never tried.
Okay, so there's lots of ideas and potentialities for you to expand what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They're just asking you to be open and be playful and let the insight come in.
Okay. Yeah, I've just been like really wrapped up in like, oh my gosh, you know, because finding a dog right now is extremely difficult. So it's getting that first part of it into place and then going from there.
Yeah. That's exciting. So let us know how it goes with the puppy.
Absolutely.
I could see you shifting into training therapy dogs if you really enjoy it.
I love training dogs, so that.
Yeah, and you know, then you meet more people who might be potentially interested in lipsology, because part of your challenge, I'm feeling, is just educating people on what it is.
Yes,
absolutely. They're going to know about it before they want it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that opens a lot of doors to new communities for you where you can educate.
That is awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Exciting.
Absolutely.
Terrific. Thanks, Beth.
Thanks, Deborah. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And I just jumped over to your page for the learning to read class, and I didn't realize this, but you have actually put it at half the tuition for a pandemic special. Deborah, that is ridiculously low. Anyway,
I want it accessible for more people.
Wow, I put the link in again because my recommendation is people go do that, because that's $167 for 3 live sessions, and you have recordings. So anyway, I said my piece.
Yes, and a private discussion group, because we want to take it to the next level.
That's wonderful. Bridget is next.
Hi, Bridget. Bridget's coming to us from Ireland. Are you there?
She is here, whether she's unmuting herself or not. I see she is here. Let me see. Bridget, where are you?
Oh, it says she's connecting to audio. Apparently the first connection
Hello.
didn't have audio. Hi.
Hi, this is Bridget. Hi.
Hi, it's great to have you here. How are you?
Thanks. I'm good, thanks. It's great to be here. I actually forget my question now. I typed it in the chat box. What is my next step?
Your next step?
Well, I'm currently living at home in my mother's house for the past couple of months, and it's been challenging for a lot of reasons. So I'm wondering when is possibly the right time to move on, or can I get any advice on the bigger picture in relation to that, and with moving on as well, and where would I be possibly moving to, or what kind of environment I could move on to when the time is right.
Okay, that's a lot. So let's see what they have to say. What can you tell Bridget about her living situation and her future? because she's feeling a little confused and overwhelmed right now. Yeah, so I'm feeling them like the oh gosh, how do I put this in words? I'm feeling like a mother's big arms surrounding you, and she's like more like a grandmotherly type, you know, that plump grandma who comes and just wraps you and envelops you in her arms, and you just feel that love through every cell of your body. You feel so warm, so safe and secure, and it feels like you're needing a little of that comfort right now. So your guides and angels want you to know that you can have that anytime. Just close your eyes and ask them to come and give you some love. You can also use the meditations on my website if you have trouble doing it on your own. So don't stress about it, because this should be ease. So you want to ease into that place and allow yourself to feel that uplifting, enveloping love and light. That will put you in a relaxed and open state energetically, where you can receive all that your guides are bringing to you, because they are. I see them. We've got wheelbarrows, Bridget, full of stuff that they're bringing you, all kinds and all manner of things. They're just trying to jump to whatever need that you have. So they want you to know it's all there waiting for you. You've got to open up and receive it. That's the hard thing, because you've been in a place of confusion and perhaps a little fear. You can't see it. You're pushing it away when you're in that state. So it's about relaxing and allowing it to come in. Now, what about the living situation? Can you give her some insight on that? Is it wise for her to stay with her mother for the short term? Yes. So would it be more than 6 months that she would be staying with her mother? No, Bridget. So sometime after 6 months, she'll be moving. Yeah, it's optimal for you to move sometime after 6 months. And would she be moving somewhere nearby? Would that be optimal? No, it's further away. So are there places you're considering moving to, Bridget?
I don't feel like I have options at the moment, particularly because of finance.
Yeah, we'll put that away, because we're talking 6 months down the road,
Yeah.
but things are going to change. So
Okay.
without that restriction, where would you like to go? Because we could ask if that's optimal.
Okay. Well, I'm open to the world can be my oyster.
Is there some place you're drawn to?
Well, I suppose particularly able to get out and about as much, but I've been drawn to being near the sea if possible.
Okay, so somewhere near the sea. Oh, big yes on that, Bridget. And I'm seeing you walking on the beach, picking up seashells with this blissful look on your face, breathing in that air. So for you, it's really feeling like getting more in tune and closer to nature is a very important part of expanding and having a more delightful and abundant journey. So find a way to incorporate that. Now, do you do any kind of healing work?
No, I don't. I just personal development, spiritual paths, just in myself. There's been a lot of stuff, heavy stuff in the last few years that I've been moving through. And I suppose I'm starting to see a glimpse of light at the end of the tunnel, literally.
Yeah, there is, because they're just saying, they're showing me they're like opening up the cupboard doors, and it's just full of all manner of things, all kinds of delightful things, and you get to pick. So they're saying, Bridget, go with the flow right now. Stop worrying as much as you can. Focus on your journey and this delightful anticipation of the new opportunities that are coming your way. Now, as I told somebody earlier, I don't know if you were here, but when you focus on things that you've already accomplished, bask in appreciation for all that you have, all that you are, and these amazing dreams that you have for your future. Stay in that positive, uplifting energy. That will allow you to see those new opportunities that your guides are bringing in those wheelbarrows, and there's stuff in your cupboards with. There's a massive abundance there of things that you've been accumulating to go to when you're ready, but you've got to shift in order to be in alignment with those things. So know that that's not a struggle. It's not about struggling. It's about flowing. So in each and every day, look for something delightful to do, to be in that energy of ease and flow. Because truthfully, we know when somebody tells you that, it's really hard to stay that way 24/7, isn't it? But if you can stay that way for just small blocks of time and then revisit it a couple times during the day, get back into that peace and calm and gratitude, basking in appreciation. The more you do that, the more aligned you become. It's like you're on this dial and you're shifting the dial, and each time you get into that beautiful aligned place, you do another click on the dial, bringing you closer to where that jackpot door opens and all that you desire comes flowing to you. So it's baby steps, Bridget. Keep stepping towards joy and delight. It doesn't matter if you don't know what it looks like on the other side yet, because you get to decide when you get there. So along the way, just like you're walking along the beach, you don't know what you're going to find, but you're open to finding beautiful treasures as you take the journey along the beach. Know that they will be there, be watchful for them, and then take action when you see them. That's your recipe as you move forward. For the next 6 months, try that, see how you feel, and then you can always check in and see if you need to shift. But if it's all going well, just keep doing it. And you'll get those inspired ideas that will lead you to the next stage of your journey. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's very helpful. Thank you. Is there anything specific that my guides would like me to know that could make a difference right away?
Anything that you can tell Bridget for right now, immediately, that she needs to know, that she can do, shift, understand, anything? I'm seeing them. There's like a wishing well, and they're pitching pennies into the wishing well. And they're doing it with a smile on their face and very relaxed energy. And they're just, flipping them off their thumb. So they're just having fun with it. And they're saying, yeah, we realize that this is money, but money's abundant. And we've got all the pennies we need, and we can keep flipping them into the wishing well. And we can fill that well so full that there won't even be any room for the water. We want you to know, Bridget, there's that much abundance. And metaphorically, they're flipping that abundance into your account. It's waiting for you. So they just want you to relax and know that that abundance is there. You don't need to worry about it. It's coming. And as you take inspired action moving forward, you get closer to that. So each day, another step closer to that goal, that click on the dial. And when you get there, it will be like, oh, big sigh of relief. Oh my gosh, now I finally see what I have been striving for. And oh my gosh, I was so silly. It was there all along. All I had to do was open the door and see it. But it's a journey. You don't get there and open the door until you're ready. So in each day, when you focus on appreciation, what your gratitude is about and the abundance that you already have, even if it's just that you woke up and somebody smiled at you, tiny little things like that, keep piling them up into your credits account of all the wonderful things that you have in your life. And the more you have, the better you will feel, and just let it overflow like those pennies. Then you'll be in this state of feeling so abundant that you'll attract more of that to you. That's the trick. Does that make sense?
Thank you. That's amazing. Really happy with that response. Thank you so much.
That's where a lot of people struggle with law of attraction, because they get into thinking about what they don't have yet and what they want, instead of focusing on what they already have and being in that beautiful energy of gratitude and appreciation. Because then you attract more things to be grateful for and appreciate. When you focus on what you don't have, you attract more to realize that you don't have. It's all about our focus and what we think about. And we are totally in control of that, because we are the creators of our reality. So Bridget, I'm really excited for you about what you're going to create.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was lovely and on point. And as I said, virtually everything you've mentioned today is also a message to me. So thank you. I'm glad I'm here. I'm so glad I'm your assistant. Natalie will be next, and then after that will be Kimberly.
Okay.
I'm looking, and she may have.
Natalia is it? I think it's Natalia.
I'm sorry, Natalia, I apologize. Yes, Natalia.
I see your lips moving, but I don't hear your voice, Natalia. Not yet, no.
Would you like for me to read her that she posted?
Okay.
There you go. Great.
Now I hear you.
All right. I just started this morning was my first lesson in something called Global Reconciliation Leadership. But you know, when you're doing something new and you're not really sure, is this going to be something for my highest good?
Yes.
Something that I just turned 68 last week, and I'm like, whatever choices I make, whatever things I commit to, I want to know it's going to be for my soul's highest purpose.
Yes.
And something that I could utilize.
Yeah, I so understand that. So happy birthday, first of all.
Thank you very much.
Let's just ask your guides, is this new endeavor with global reconciliation in Natalia's highest and best good? Yeah, big yes on that.
Okay.
So just know that when you do something, it's always feeling awkward, and you just have to kind of get through that. But as long as it's something that will take you to the next level of where you're intending to go, it's a worthwhile expenditure of your focus and your time.
Because part of my problem is I'm endeavoring it, but I'm not sure of that step of where I want to go.
Yeah. So that's a case of just go with it, feel your way through it, allow it to shift and morph, because what you learn from them, you might only take one small piece and use it in the next stage of your journey, but it will be an important piece. Because when you take a course like that, very often the whole thing is not what you're needing. So you're just getting in there and looking around for that nugget that you can take away. And if you get that one great nugget, that's all you need.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So glad you made it.
Thanks.
And congratulations, 68. That's a good looking 68 on the screen there, darling.
Gotcha.
Kimberly is next, and it looks like she is going to be in your class, which I'm excited about. And I'm just hoping that this is, no, I'm seeing this full, so I'm hoping that you have space for everything that's coming up. So Kimberly, I'll be quiet. Unmute yourself.
Hi, Deborah. How are you?
Kimberly, great to see you.
Great to see you too. I have a couple of questions. It's so funny that in the beginning that you had mentioned about the dragon energy, because I had seen in the clouds twice over the last 2 weeks, dragons. And could you ask my guides what they're meaning by this?
Sure. It's funny. I don't even remember talking about dragons. So what can you share with Kimberly about dragons? She's seeing them. Is there some significance to that she's supposed to get? Oh, yeah. So can you enlighten us? What are the dragons about? I'm feeling a very warm feeling about the dragons. Like, it's like they're almost your guardians, if that makes sense. And they're there to help you.
Yeah,
inspire.
It does feel like a guardian angel, or in a previous life I had one as a, I don't want to say pet or loved one or something. It's definitely a good feeling.
Yeah, it feels like companion, and it feels like they are there to inspire you to always look for the magic in life. You know, we can get into this place where life gets really mundane and we forget there's miracles and magic all around us. Just like when you were at Columnsill and you were probably interacting with the fairies.
Yes.
It's do more of that, interact more with the elementals and allow them to light you up and lift you up, to assist you in what you're bringing to the world, because they delight in doing that.
I actually, funny thing you mentioned that is I did a meditation, and it took me to another place, and I envisioned myself in the forest, and all of the indigenous creatures of the forest came, and it was this wave of love that I've never felt before. And in mid meditation, I cried because it was just absolutely beautiful, and it was like I was at home. So it's funny that you should bring that up. So I am going to do that more, but I struggle with finding to stay calm in nature when I'm out there, because I get distracted by noises, and you know what I mean, and it's hard. So maybe do they have any clarity of what I should do in order to calm myself when I'm in nature trying to meditate?
Yeah, well, one thing I can see right away is you sitting in one of those fairy portals, because I can't imagine you would not feel safe sitting in that fairy portal, because it's just an enormous and magnificent little structure. But the other thing I'm getting is that when you're there and you're in the meditation and you hear that noise that startles you, it's okay, don't worry about it. Just bring your focus back to your meditation. Just, you can acknowledge it. Hey, I know you're there. Thanks for chiming in. I appreciate that. Maybe they're bringing you a message. So go right back to your message, or your meditation rather, and just ask, was that a message? And can you help me to hear the message?
Okay.
Because that could be why it's showing up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't assume it's a negative. I would always assume it's a positive.
Yeah, I just thought maybe I was meant to stay home and meditate and not go out into the woods.
No, I get very strongly, every time I talk to you, Kimberly, I feel this impish fairy energy around you. And that's why I keep bringing it up, because you just generate that energy. So you're meant to connect more with that side of yourself and with that part of nature and bring that forward. Maybe it's about you teaching the world that those elements exist and how they can interact with them.
Oh, that would be lovely. I'd love to learn how to do that. First, I got to connect with them.
Yeah, it's there for you. It's part of who you are. It's woven into you. I feel it from you.
This is why I love the forest so much. And then one time we had gone to Vermont to go on vacation, and I went outside and I looked at the stars, and they were the brightest stars I've ever seen in my life. Not that they're any different than here.
Your volume went out, Kimberly. No, it's really, really low. Like you're talking through some tiny little microphone. That's better.
Okay. Is it when the stars in Vermont had come out and been so vivid to me, was that my guides telling me that I should be there at some point in my life?
Okay. So Kimberly was feeling very drawn and inspired to the stars in Vermont. Is it highly likely that she will live in Vermont at some point? I get a yes on that, and then they're saying, if you want to.
Yeah.
But you can do what you're doing right where you're at. So you don't have to wait until you move somewhere. That's what they want you to do. Go ahead and full bore with what you're doing now. It's perfect. And if the opportunity comes and you want to take advantage of it to move, that would be a great place for you as well.
Okay. And just one more final thing. Over the last, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Over the last couple weeks, I've had a couple realizations about who I was. And I was connected to a plant for some reason. Like I bought a plant. I felt like I knew this plant, like its soul. What was the meaning behind that? And the other realizations that I had over the last 2 weeks.
It feeds right in with what we were talking about, your connection with nature.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that plant is like a spokesperson for all the other plants connecting with you. So that was a highly evolved plant that was able to do that, to open that door for you to say, Kimberly, there's much more for you to explore here, to learn and to share.
Wonderful. I just got chills.
And did I send you a link to Gary Cook? He's the guy from New Zealand who's always posting songs from plants from nature.
No.
Okay. Send me an email, remind me, I'll connect you with him. And for all of you, just find him on Facebook, Gary Cook. He's this older gentleman who's been recording music from plants and trees for years, very connected to the forest. So I think you would love him, Kimberly.
Wow, wonderful.
Magical being. And he's very much into filming fairies and elementals and things like that.
Wow, wonderful.
Magical
Thanks.
guy.
Thank you so much, Deborah. I'm complete.
Awesome.
And I look forward to our meeting on Thursday.
Yeah, see you Thursday.
Okay, so we have, let me tell you who's in the queue. Adelina is next, and then Stella and Danielle.
Awesome.
So Adelina is next.
Hi, Adelina. How are you?
Hi. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for doing this.
You.
So I have so many questions. Kind of attending this. I just checked my phone today, and I saw the email that you were doing this again, and I got so happy. I think I will book a private reading, but and I was browsing now what's like the best question to ask, because there are so many. So I guess I don't necessarily have a specific question, but I'm finding my job to be very stressful and very straining, and I feel like it's a very big burden, and I appreciate that it's paying really well, and I can work from home, and now I'm with my family. I've moved with my family, at least temporarily, while the lockdown is happening. So there are lots of things to appreciate, but there's something really, really heavy, and it's bringing so much anxiety and so much stress. And yeah, I would like to know if they have to say anything about that.
So the job is bringing the anxiety and stress?
Yeah, the job, the manager, what I do, my colleagues. So I think if I ask about the job, and then we'll see what comes up. And
okay. So what can you tell Adelina about this job? Is it optimal for her to stay? No, it is definitely not optimal for you to stay. Do you have other options?
No. I guess, is it optimal to stay in the company but change position?
Okay. Would it be optimal to stay at the company and just ask for a different position? Yeah, that would be a better choice.
Okay. Can I ask about whether it's optimal to do it this year?
Okay. What about the timeline? Is it something she should do very soon? They're saying like the sooner the better.
Okay.
Because it's causing that stress and anxiety, okay, it's creating ripples in your pond that you don't want, negative ripples. So the sooner you address it, the better. And the fact that you feel compelled to ask about it is pretty much your answer, isn't it?
And so I'm in a very technical role, but lately I've been more kind of drawn to people or organizing things, and I would like, but I also enjoy the technical aspect. So maybe can we ask if I should stay on the technical side, or if I should move into a different, like, management, or maybe that, yeah, maybe let's ask that, management or technical.
So for Adelina, would it be optimal to be in a more a technical job? And what about management? I get a no on management and definite yes on the technical. So it's like, do you really enjoy the technical stuff?
Sometimes. I'm surprised. I was expecting the reverse.
Is there a way that you can?
Now I'm more confused.
Can you combine the two? Does it have to be either or?
I feel like in my current position, I'm combining the two.
That's what I'm getting. It's like somewhere in the middle, if you can bring them together, because that allows you to better express more of yourself.
So can we ask if I should change department?
Okay. What about a different department? I get a yes on that. Yeah. And is that because of the troublesome manager? Is that what?
Yeah.
Yeah. I get a yes on that. So your job is great. It's just getting away from that one person.
Okay.
So how can you do that?
Okay. I have no idea how I can do that, or what role I would go for.
Is there somebody at work that you can talk to and ask about options?
I tried to douse that, but I didn't get any good answers. I was only getting no's to all of the ideas I was getting at.
Yeah, give me the names, because you're not objective about this, so your dowsing results are going to be wonky.
so I have a friend, mentor. His name is Saranga.
So would Saraga be an optimal person to consult about the work issue? Yes.
Okay.
Give me a couple others. We'll see, because there might be more than one that you can talk to.
My manager's manager, her name is Sophie.
What about Sophie? I get a yes on Sophie too.
Okay.
You got more options than you thought you did.
Okay.
Who else do you want to check in with?
My manager.
I get a big no on that one.
Can I? Okay, so I'm in Romania now, and last time I spoke to you, I was getting the advice that it's better to stay in the UK, but I feel like things shifted and it's so much better to stay in Romania. Well, now at home. So maybe can I ask if I should stay in a job in Romania or still be employed in the UK?
Okay, so the optimal choice for employment and living for Adelina, would it be stay in Romania? That's a big uncertain kind of a question mark. What about UK? Is that a better, more optimal choice? That's also a big, so it's, are you saying it doesn't matter? Okay, they're saying it doesn't matter. It's up to you. Which one do you feel best about?
Okay.
Because they won't make that choice for you. They always want you to choose the one that's in your highest and best interests. So what feels the best? That's what you have to look for.
Okay, understood. Is there, I guess I will book a private reading with you because I feel like there's so much more to ask about this. But just one final question. Is the relationship that I have with my manager, is that somehow, for me, I see that as a mirror of the type of relationship I used to have with my dad. I'm just curious if that's like a repeating pattern.
The relationship with the manager, is that a repeating pattern? No. Is there a karmic connection between the two of them? Yeah, that's what it is. It's something karmic.
Okay.
So were they related in a past life? Oh, no, I'm getting you were lovers in a past life. And it was messy.
Right.
Yeah. So were they the same genders in that past life? Yeah. So you were the same genders. And I'm feeling like, you know, he was one of these beastly men who cheated on you and treated you really badly. So when your paths, when your paths crossed, that kind of sprang up in him energetically, and he's not conscious of it, of course, but he's acting it out. That old, for him, that old pattern. You're not still in that place wanting to do that, of course, because you're in a more empowered state now. You're not willing to be somebody's victim, but he's still got that going on. So that's what it's about. So send me an email.
Yeah.
We'll do a little clearing to disconnect that energy.
That sounds great. Thank you. And I'll book another reading. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Okay, so we have about 15 minutes left, and we have Stella and then Danielle and Heidi. And then take the last 5 minutes, and I want you to talk about your program coming up before you sign off. So it's Stella next.
Okay.
Hi, Deborah. Thank you for that. Hi. I'm just wondering about work. I feel like I'm coming to a crossroads, and the lockdown has obviously helped me to sit back and think about that. I'm not sure whether I should be changing direction of what I do, doing less of what I do, doing more of what I do, or doing it in a different location. So I'm just floating along and things are rolling in, you know, without me having to take major action. In the past, I've been told maybe I should work with children, maybe I should be doing teaching, maybe I work in sort of more healing energy work, counselling, that sort of thing. Colour keeps coming up, children keep coming up. I don't feel drawn to work with children, but have done a modality, like you just said earlier, take a nugget from what I've learned in that system and I apply that to adults. So, you know, I can see how that's worked. Don't know what I would be doing if I was working in colour. So I don't really know what I'm doing, which is fine. I'm not worried about it, but I just thought there may be some help or guidance, or maybe there's something I should be doing that I'm not.
Okay, and out of all the things you're doing, which do you enjoy the most?
I just like talking to people, and for me it's about helping them to open up their power however we get there. Teaching them about their energy bodies, their energy field, about the world and the awakening world, and helping them to find the power and to open it up. And so of course I need to do that myself, and I feel like, you know, when you describe the dial, you're doing it bit by bit by bit. I feel like I've been doing that over the last maybe 15 years. And I don't know if I've come to a point, excuse me, where I've done that, or whether there's always more to do, or whether I should just be sort of taking it easy now and relaxing and, you know, not taking responsibility for other people, which I don't try and do. I try and empower them to have responsibility for themselves, or whether I should be taking it easy, a bit more retirement time, less work, or whether I should just be changing direction, doing more of one thing rather than the other. I feel definitely I should be streamlining because I do many different things. I feel like I should be streamlining it in some way and focusing more, but I'm not sure quite what my soul purpose says I should be doing rather than what my head says I should be doing.
Well, for your soul purpose, it's all about what brings you joy. Brings you to that place of bliss where you feel so in alignment with your soul. So there's no responsibility for anybody else except it's just you. If you are feeling drawn to slow down, because you talked about that a couple times, so that's clearly bouncing around in there, you can absolutely do that if that feeds your soul and brings you delight. Serve only those you choose. Yeah, choose. So what's coming through is you're at a place where it's time to be more selective about who you share your gifts with. Only the ones that you feel the most satisfied working with. Yeah.
So that helps. So I've decided after lockdown I'm only going to try and work 2 days instead of 3, so that I'm in my 60s, my husband's in his 70s. We can spend more time together. And today I've literally not gone off for a walk or anything because I've had people ringing me up, new clients coming in. And I'm thinking, am I supposed to be saying no to these people? But I'm looking forward to working with them because, you know, they're nice, interesting people. Or is this a test to say no to them? Or is it just keep doing what you're doing and just, you know,
this is an opportunity for you to put up better boundaries, to only accept the ones that you really delight and you know you can make a major impact with. You're at a point where you said you're in your 60s, so now you want to make what you do really count. You don't want to work with just anybody who comes in the door. You want to work with those who are in alignment with what you're wanting to teach, and the ones you can really make the most difference in their life. You don't want to just do a little tweak. You want to help them move forward more powerfully. That's where you can make a major impact in the world, because they'll take what you taught and then expand upon it to the world. That's the best way to make the highest and best use of your time. So in this stage of life, it's really about getting clear on your priorities. What brings you joy? What would be the things you'd regret doing if you ran out of time? Do those things. Real soul searching. And maybe that means you don't work with anybody, right? It's totally up to you. Because it's about you.
Okay.
You don't have to do any of those things from your guides or God's perspective. It's about what serves you. And when
I mean, to be honest, I've loved every minute. I've been working for myself for 13 years. I've loved every minute of it. Every day, you know, I go home feeling blessed. But I just feel like I don't want to just jump back into doing exactly what I did before, because I felt that would start to feel like a bit of a ball and chain, because I like change. I like doing new things.
Yeah.
But also not to be so scattered, to be more focused and be more, what's the word? Can't think of what the word is anyway. But, you know, like you say, to choose, more discerning maybe about the type of thing I do.
Definitely more.
I don't know whether I'm supposed to be working with groups or not as well. I have worked with groups in the past.
Again, there's no supposed to. Do you enjoy working with groups? If you do, you do it. But for you right now, it's about feeling your way through it. As you're doing it, stop in the moment and evaluate. Do I really love this? Would I do it for free? I love it so much.
I've always had
that's what your choice is. Those things that you love so much you do for free. That's what you would continue doing very selectively. But also it's feeling like, allow it to morph. It doesn't have to be that tunnel vision again, doing what you've always done. You have a higher perspective now. You've got greater wisdom now. Share that, bring that into your work. Allow it to shift to serve whomever you delight in serving.
Okay. And what about the color? Am I supposed to be doing something with color? Because that keeps cropping up and I'm thinking, am I supposed to be doing something working with color?
Color?
Yeah, people keep saying, oh, you're going to be working with color. You know, like the color liquids, can't remember what it's called now, or the color therapy or something. You know, it's not something I've ever looked into.
All right. So color liquid therapy stuff, is that something that would be optimal for Stella to investigate? No, I'm getting a no on that.
So I always feel really drawn to rainbow colors, multicolors, you know, like diamonds, prisms, anything with the multicolors in, that really draws me in. So I could understand maybe that, you know, color is something to attract me, but I don't know in what way. But it just keeps coming up over the years. People keep saying, oh, color's good, work with color. What am I supposed to do with color?
Yeah, well, just be open to it and see
whether it's painted.
It could be. So you might want to just dabble with some various things, maybe even crystals, and see, does it fascinate you? And if it does, then you explore it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, before we go to the final three, Danielle, Heidi, and Terry, Deborah, can you give a synopsis of what the course is going to be? Explain what's going to be going on.
Sure. So it's called Learning to Read Your Akashic Records. And the whole point of the course is that I want to empower you to learn how to access your own records, to get information on your own behalf. Because yes, there are people like me who can do it for you. But imagine how much more powerful it is if you can do it for yourself. I want to teach you how to do that. And I assure you it's easy. Everybody can do it. We're going to get together. We're going to do those sessions. We're going to practice in our private group. You're going to leave that course knowing and having confidence that you actually can do this. And from there, who knows where you might take it? But I can tell you, connecting with your records is a massive transformation like you just will not believe. Opens you up to so much more joy, wonder, and delight in your life. It's blissful. I feel like each day I'm walking through the world connected to the fifth dimension. And it's kind of like an out-of-body wonderful feeling. It certainly helps in dealing with all the third dimensional things that are going on right now, because you just feel like you're kind of removed from it. You're protected from it. And you're just filled with so much love. It's an expansion of who you are as a being. And at this time, as more light workers are being called forward to step up, to share their light and live their purpose more fully, this is a way for you to do that faster. So that's what we're going to bring together.
Excellent. And Danielle is next.
Okay, cool. Hi, Danielle.
Hi, it's so good to see you.
Great to see you. It's been a while.
I know. And I'm so happy for you with this course and just seeing you expand and sharing your beautiful heart and your gifts. I mean, you are such a blessing.
Thank you.
And I'm so grateful to know you. And I'm sorry I'm late. I just got your email, so I jumped on. So I just had two questions. The first one is, I know that you have helped me to access a lot of, from my light family, from my guides, as far as the divine nourishment lifestyle and the masterpiece that I've been painting the last 13 years. And teaching people how to master their energy physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually has been wonderful. And having more clarity to, like, almost having the permission to do that has been wonderful. And what I've been realizing lately, as I've been letting go of who I am and what I'm here for, and just really opening myself up for them to work through me, the past few months I've been having teachers reach out for me to mentor them in their business. And I don't market that. I don't, I just, release everything to the highest good. And I feel like it's undeniable now because I've had so many people show up. One of them has, her master's degree in therapy and psychology, and she wants me to teach her the other part of it, the Eastern energy part of it, to help her build her own business. And one girl was a nutrition and fitness expert, like I started out on my spiritual journey 13 years ago, who wants to bridge spirituality. So it's just interesting because I'm like, oh, so as I've been tapping in, and this is what the question I have is, what keeps coming to me that I keep receiving is that the divine nourishment lifestyle is meant to be like a mastermind that takes people through their healing and then into sharing that with the world to actually create that ripple effect. So my question is, am I am I connecting with them correctly? Is this kind of what this masterpiece has always been about? Is me transitioning more into the business part of it, taking people through their healing and then showing them how to bring that out to their community?
Yeah, so I get a big yes on that. And it's really fascinating you bring this particular topic, Danielle, because earlier with several people, we talked about how your business can expand and morph and not to worry about drawing the people, to allow yourself to be an energetic match and they will be magnetized to you. So you just exemplify that. You are doing what feeds your soul. You're getting in there every day, working it, and suddenly new people that are taking you to the next level of growth are showing up and allowing you to expand. Now, you don't have to do that if you don't want to, but I feel like you are excited about it, and it's wonderful.
I just like that bliss and that joy and that, like, when I'm on a session with them. And so for me, like, I feel like with energetically and manifesting comes very easily to me, and I don't like structure. I don't like structure and those systems and things like that, because I just work more easily when I just let go. But now I'm realizing, like, okay, so now that this is happening, and I'm like, oh, okay, like, I get it. I hear you loud and clear. So now I have to teach them how to, like, systematically walk people through their process after I get them there after 6 months, and then have that next 6 months of, like, being able to. So it's just interesting that I'm not trying to figure it out, but like you said, it's just like you let go and it just shows up for you, and it just, you know, and it's like, I don't know. It's just so crazy how it happens, right? Yeah. It's so exciting. And my other question was, I've been vibrating, like right now I'm vibrating. My whole body's vibrating, and I can just feel like you in my field and I'm in your, so is that vibrating, and that those thoughts that are coming through as that clear cognizant gift that I've opened, like, am I communicating with them? I don't even know why I'm asking that. I don't even need to ask that, but it's nice to just hear that confirmation, you know?
Sometimes we need validation. Yeah, of course you are. You are in the flow. And that's why these people are showing up, because they are those opportunities, those doors and windows that we talk about, that you're seeing now that you wouldn't have seen before when you weren't ready. You've now evolved to that next stage. You're ready to grow in your business. Doesn't mean you stop doing the other things, although you might want to. You might want to shift your focus. It's totally up to you. That's the delicious thing about it. You get to decide. You can do both or just one. Or something entirely different, because, you know, this is only the next phase. There's going to be more. You're going to keep growing.
Yeah, and I feel like nothing's changed that I'm doing. It's just that the teachers are coming to me now. So I don't market it, and it's just interesting because now I'm realizing, like, oh, your energy is your marketing. It is your branding. Like, I don't have ads. If you go to my website, it doesn't talk about it's not clear what I do. People will reach out to me. I'm not sure what you do, but I know I need to work with you. I want to have, and it's just like, that's what's been happening. So I guess my question is, moving forward, how can my guides guide me a little bit more as far as, like, you know, what should I focus on? Should I focus more on maybe the business side of it and learning that from someone? Should I shift my morning practice? I mean, what are some, like, maybe words of wisdom, some little spiritual breadcrumbs that can kind of help me to maybe shift things a little bit as I'm kind of in this flow with everything coming through? Like the structure that I just don't, you know?
So Danielle's experiencing these growing pains. What kind of wisdom can you give her for the optimal way to move forward? Oh, I'm just feeling like this silky smooth flow. It's just unceasing and flowing, and there's no obstacles at all. It's just flow. So they're just saying, you know, Danielle, keep surfing that cosmic wave. You're doing it well already. So it's about you being cognizant of feeling the flow. And when you feel the flow start to bobble, that's when you look around and you make your little correction soon. Don't let it be a fall off of the surfboard. So it's just making those tiny little course corrections as you go. Always checking in with your solar plexus. Is this the best choice? You're doing fabulous though, so don't second guess yourself. Just stay in the flow.
And I feel like I've gotten, when I try to connect with my guy, which I'm going to take your course because I would love to expand and open up. And I look up to you so much and honor you so much for the work you do and for how we've connected, right, through synchronicity. But another thing that's coming through is that, like, I know my soulmate team is showing up, and I feel like the women I'm working one-on-one with as this like beta to create the mastermind, I'm like, they're going to be part of my team and helping me to teach this year-long mastermind when we have the retreats and we all come together. And I feel like you're a part of that because I want people to really understand themselves on a soul level, right? Like, and the work you do is so great. So I'm just kind of thinking, like, it's not even an idea that I try to figure out. It's like, oh, Debra's going to be a part, you know what I mean? It's like it's just going to be this, because I want to change the coaching industry, you know, because there's so many people focused on money and this and that. And it's like, no, the money just gets to come, right? As long as you're in alignment and you're with the right people and you're coming from the right place, like that just gets to happen, right? So I don't know. It feels good just to connect and talk about that with you and just to get that confirmation that I am.
Yes. Well, the thing I want to throw in there for you and for everybody is it gets to happen when you're in the flow. It doesn't happen so much when you're in the struggle. Sorry about the doggies.
Sapphire.
Yeah, I think there's somebody here. So thanks, girls. So for everybody, just take to heart what Danielle has shared, because this is a beautiful example of the way you make it, the law of attraction, work for you. It's doing what feeds your soul, flowing with it, knowing that if you get off course, you're going to feel it and you make the adjustment, and then you allow your guides to just lift you up and take you past the obstacles. You don't have to struggle. It's always.
And I can't recommend enough anyone who's watching this, who hasn't had a soul introduction from Deborah. I highly recommend that because, you know, authenticity and really stepping into your authentic truth and speaking the things coming from your heart and, you know, doing all those things that I can now teach people to do. It is so freeing because that's where freedom is, when you can stand up unapologetically, because you're afraid it's going to be lonely because people aren't going to understand you. And working with Deborah and having that permission, if you will, it's almost like that permission and having that clarity of what you already know, because you already know. You have all your answers inside, and having that soul introduction and seeing the blueprint and what your lesson is here and all of your gifts. That's when it clicked for me. And that is when the manifestation and the juices started flowing, and it's like, and here I am. So if you haven't done that yet, I highly, highly recommend Deborah. And that's why I can't help but think that, you know, she's going to be a part of what I'm doing as well. So, you know, connect with her as deeply as you can. It's worth the investment. It'll really give you that, that permission that we think we need, right? But it'll help you to go past that edge, to kind of meet your edge and to lean into it a little bit more, because it never ends, right? So that was a huge initiation for me spiritually, to really step into that, to step into my power. And I thank you so much
for
you answering your call. So imagine when whoever's listening to this, you answer your call, right? And how powerful that'll be, because I think we're kind of scared of that. So yeah. So thank you. I love you. So much love.
Thank you. Love that.
Love to you.
Yeah. Meeting your soul is just the most profound, sacred, transformational thing. And, you know, just a week ago, I had a new realization about one of my gifts. It's like, you still keep getting, because there's higher and higher levels of understanding. So it just keeps on going. We're all on this journey now.
So are you okay with going over a bit?
Yeah, I want to get the people who are waiting. Absolutely.
Okay. We have Heidi, Terry, and Rita, and then we're done. Heidi.
Hi, Heidi.
And by the way, I want to say, Danielle, thank you so much for validating that Deborah is a gift to us.
Heidi, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have one question, and then when Danielle was talking, actually another question came up that I needed to ask, because I vibrate too. Like sometimes I'll be sitting, I'm just like, and I used to be puzzled, and now I just kind of like, I feel it, and I'm acknowledging it, but I don't understand it. Any answers for me on that?
Yeah, it's part of the ascension process. So you're more in touch with the energy. You're feeling it at a deeper level. It was always there. You're just now aware of it. You're going to be aware of more things. Some of the ascension symptoms, for some people, they're feeling fatigue, or they might even feel like flu symptoms. So, you know, if you're feeling a little bit off, it could be ascension symptoms.
Like last night, like yesterday I was fine. And then last night I was like really vibrating. And then I got like, I don't get migraines. I'm a healthy person, but I actually had to lay with like ice on my head. And I was just like, what in the hay is going on? And I don't know. I mean, I felt like it was not a physical thing. It felt, I don't know, but it was.
Well, each of us, our souls vibrate at a certain frequency. We start out at one number. We can actually measure it with numbers, and we talk about that in my Learning to Read the Records class. So we start out with that number, and then through our lives, as we expand our consciousness, that number is slowly going up. So in past generations, when we go back and measure where they were, we see that they only went up maybe 1 or 2 tenths on the scale of frequency in an entire lifetime. Now we are jumping up 5, 6, 7, 8 points in a matter of a condensed period of years. So that's been like since the 2010 energies came in and we all started shifting, because the earth is shifting, we're shifting together, then we're inspiring each other to shift more faster. So we're feeling that physically, because that's a lot to happen for the soul and the ego body to shift and get into this new higher level.
In 2011, I was hit by lightning. And since that time, it's just been just like, and now in the last, like, I guess 3 years, it is just incredible, the changes that, I mean, like, it makes me feel emotional. The changes that are happening, I'm just like, whoa, what? You know, I'm not even the same person that I was 3 years ago. It's astounding.
Yeah, I totally feel the same way. You know, once I started doing this work and shifting and growing, expanding, I don't recognize that person I used to be.
Right?
Somebody else.
Right?
Yeah, because we're shifting into our soul. We're shifting out of ego body into being our soul, realizing we're not this third dimensional skin suit. We're a soul, a divine soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you, I read your book. I mean, that like 2 years ago was when I read the book, and that was part of that almost like rocket power that pushed me into this accelerated mode. That was part of it. There were a couple of books and things that I was doing all at the same time, and you were one of those nuggets of rocket power that.
Thank you. I'm so glad it resonated with you.
Yeah, thank you. And I have a somewhat mundane question to ask you, or to talk to you about, is that I'm planning on moving in next spring, and so I need to sell my house, and I'm like dragging my feet about putting it on the market. And I wasn't even going to ask you a question today, and I was like, you know what, I should ask her just about like a timeline for when to put my house here on the market, because I feel like if I sell it too soon, then I'm like, where am I going to live? In a tent, you know? So
from the law of attraction perspective, worrying about if I sell too soon, then what? That's fear, and that's not where you want to go. You want to be in that space of, I will sell it in the optimal time, and there will be a flow into whatever comes next.
You're right. You're so right, because that's what I was doing. I put a little tiny sign out in front of my house, and then I've been hanging around someone recently, and she's like, she kind of operates from a fear place, and she's planted these seeds. She's like, no, you have to do this. You have to. And I was like, no, like it'll happen when it's supposed to happen. But if someone keeps like, if I'm listening to that, then of course now it's shifting my perspective.
Yeah.
Thank you for that reminder.
Just flow with it and allow it to unfold in divine, perfect timing.
Yeah.
I'll share a story with you that I think you'll relate to. So I mentioned, growing my YouTube channel. So I'm looking at it and I'm saying, oh, I'm not at 1,000 yet. And then I get reminded, hello, you have 854 something like that, or 45. You've got 854 followers. What are you complaining about? Focus on what you got, not what you don't got. Right? Bad grammar, but you get the point.
Okay.
Yeah, and for all of us, when we do that, we're in alignment with law of attraction. So it's always focusing on what you're grateful for.
Yeah. Yeah. I was writing just kind of free writing the other morning, and I have a gratitude journal, so I'm writing in there, and I just started this free flow of writing about gratitude, and I followed the line, and it's like, ultimately gratitude is love. You know, when we are in a state of gratitude, and when we're truly feeling that, we're in a state of love.
Yes.
And how empowering and how positive. I mean, some days you're just like, I'm grateful for hot water, you know, when you're getting a shower.
Absolutely.
You can start from somewhere, and then that little nugget grows. So thank you, Deborah.
Yes, you're welcome. Thanks for sharing the story.
Welcome.
That's lovely. Terry is interested. See if Terry's still here. Let me look and see.
I'm here.
Okay. You have the floor.
Okay. It's nice to meet you, Deborah. And I'm grateful for my friend Melinda for introducing me to you. And I look forward to my soul introduction on Monday with you.
Yeah.
So I just had a question about, I'm thinking about changing my brokerage firm. And I was wondering if you could ask my guides if they feel it would be a good move for me financially and for growth in my business.
Okay. So this change in the brokerage firm that Terry is contemplating, is this in her highest and best? Is it an optimal choice? Yeah, I get a big yes on that. Is that what you were expecting?
I think so. I thought it was going to be a good thing. So
yeah, it's a very strong yes.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
And Rita. Is Rita still here? I do not see Rita. Okay.
I don't see Rita either.
What would you like to finish with? I just want to say that this has been a wonderful time with you today, because virtually every message that came through, I received a seed of it. So, and that's one of the things that I love about group sessions, is that when you listen, you say, what message do I get there? I think it comes through to everyone. We have a lot of similarities, but thank you so much, Deborah, for sharing your gift.
It's my delight. And if all of you would join me in thanking Donna for helping out and allowing this to flow so much more smoothly. So much appreciation for you, Donna.
Well, I'd just like to do one thing, and I would like for everyone to take their hand like this and put on their arms, hug themselves like this, and know that this moment I am hugging you. That is me. That is my energy around you. So just feel that as Deborah closes.
Thank you. So much love for all of you for being here, for taking this time out of your day, and so much love and gratitude for our angels, guides, masters, teachers, for Metatron, for Creator, for joining us together, for making these opportunities, for inspiring us, for this big, wide, beautiful world that we get to experience, for knowing that no matter what happens outside, on the inside, we can find peace, love, and balance. And so, as we began with that story of the protesters using nonviolence, using love to meet anger, fear, that's what we are all bringing. We, as the light workers of the world, lift up our love and our light, our intention, that it spreads out like a sonic boom across the land, touching everyone and everything, blessing them and all with that energy, causing them to perk up, to feel uplifted in that moment, causing them to be curious and to search for more for themselves, stimulating those awakening souls on their journey to move a little faster, because we all need to come together now to usher in this new stage of human evolution that we are moving into, because we want that golden age to come sooner. And if this really is the apocalypse, then we are trusting our guides and our angels to stand with us and help us flow through it. We will go through it with ease and come out the other side in a place of such bliss, such love, our earth utopia that we will have created together. And the angels, the guides are singing, amen. Let it be. Let there be peace on earth for one and all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all. Much gratitude. See you next month. Bye for now.